Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. My name is Lola Oduba, and the network you're watching is Expose TV. It's always a pleasure to have to come on the program to do this particular show. Why? Because I know that it's a show that tends and caters to the emotions and, of course, the well-being of our viewers out there. And in doing this show, what happens is that I get to reflect as well, and I also grow as a person. My name is Lola Oduba, and the program you're watching is Motivation Talk on Expose TV. Today, we're going to be taking on emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence, a lot of people will wonder, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive, understand things using your thoughts and emotions. Now, a lot of people will wonder, emotional intelligence, why do I need that? You need emotional intelligence to be able to navigate in the world that we live in, because a lot of people tend to get carried away with their emotions, tend to get carried away with how they manage themselves, especially in public, how they mismanage themselves, rather, especially in public, how they mismanage themselves in public. Thereby, this leads to miscommunication of how people perceive you, how people relate with you, how people just receive you. A lot of people come across as, most of the time, not really who they want to portray themselves to be. Emotional intelligence is really the way of how you come across to people, how you are perceived by people, either at home, in the office, or whatever setting you may be at. So to be perceived rightly, what you want to do is sit back, relax. Let's do the program together, because this is a program that, believe me, at the end of the show, everyone will know that you're better fine-tuned to deal with today's world. Welcome back, and the program is still Motivation Talk on Expose TV. It's great to be here. If you remember at the start of the show, I said we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence. And for all of you who are there and have called on your friends and your colleagues and your brothers and your families to be a part of this program, remember what we said emotional intelligence is the ability to navigate your thoughts, ability to navigate how you are perceived, the ability to navigate how you present yourself, basically in a world that we live in today. Now, the first thing I want you to do is self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is knowing who you are as a person. Self-awareness is knowing how your emotions determine how people receive you. It's the way and manner to which you understand how your behavior affects those around you. You come into contact with some people, and immediately you see them, it's either you feel, there's always a thought when people meet you the first time. It's never a thing that nobody has an impression about you. You will always have someone have an impression about you. Whether you care about that impression, you should care about some of the impressions, is why we're here. So basically, you want to make sure that how you present yourself to the outside public is what is acceptable in your environment. You don't want to go to an office and begin to be loud in a very quiet environment. Obviously, you would look out of place. Neither do you want to go to a social setting and just stand by yourself, not mingling with the crowd, not mingling with people, just staying by yourself. Meanwhile, everyone is associating with each other. Everyone is getting to know each other. Everyone is just making sure that conversation is brewing all around. So that's what I'm saying. You must know in every situation how you are putting yourself across to the public. It's important that you learn to do the right thing at the right time. So self-awareness also comes across as you enter into an environment. And take, for instance, you're supposed to be in a corporate environment, and then you come with a bra top and then maybe a bum shorts. Very inappropriate, isn't it? I'm sure that you know that at that time, a lot of people would look at you weirdly. They would look at you and think that, doesn't she know where she's coming to? Why is she come dressed like that? It's the same way. Now that's your outer look. There is something about self-awareness that also tells about who you are as a person. Take, for instance, it now talks about your character. When people do not take your word for what you say it is, when people cannot believe in what you say, they cannot address you with the respect that, of course, you ought to be given. And when you're not able to control your emotions, take, for instance, you get upset and you just rant off without caring who's there, without caring who's there or who's not there. All of this is learning really how to manage your emotions effectively, because the way you manage your emotions is the way people are going to address you. So you want to make sure that your emotional intelligence is well balanced. You have looked at your strengths, you have looked at your weakness, you have reflected on who you are as a person. What makes you tick as a person? What environment am I entering into? And when you are able to manage that is when your emotional intelligence is good on that level. The next thing we're going to be going to right now is self-regulation and self-reflection. It's just a continuation of how people, perceive you. You must make sure that how you are reflecting after you've looked at yourself, you've looked at your abilities, you've looked at your strengths, you've looked at your weaknesses, you know where you are strong, where you are weak. You now begin to reflect on those areas that you need to work on and those areas that need improvement. And what you want to do right now is self-reflect, self-regulate yourself, make sure that you regulate yourself to whatever environment you are going into. You reflect on the character, because believe me, we all take on a character, whether you like it or not. The way I am at the office is not really the way I am at home. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people, actually agree to that as well. The way you are with your friends is not the way that your boss will see you. So you have to know what character it is that you bring into every place that you enter into. Now, in bringing in these characters, I'm not saying have a double personality. I'm just saying that you reflect on how you best want to be treated at every particular time, and you make sure that you do the right thing at the right time. So after reflecting and after regulating your emotions and character, you are able to bring out the best one that is suited for whatever environment that you are in. The next thing we're going to be talking about is social skills. Now, this is a part of emotional intelligence that is very crucial. Why is it very crucial? Still in line with the former conversation of how you are perceived outside, how your people perceive you, how are you being treated, or rather, how do you make others treat you? Because the way you are perceived is how people will treat you. If you come into a place and socially you are not acceptable, then you can imagine that people will want to put you to a corner and just leave you to yourself. So you want to make sure that at every point in time, your etiquette is correct, your grooming is correct, your smell is correct, the way you talk, the way you sit, the way and manner that you eat, everything about you, the way you even hold your cutlery, everything you do, you must make sure it's correct. That way, when you enter into any environment at all, whether it's a business meeting, whether it's a dinner, whether it's an office setting, you are able to be well balanced. I'm not saying copy or be who you're not, no. But to grow along official lines and to grow to be the best version of yourself, you cannot but self-improve. Self-improvement cuts across all of these things. It cuts across your social skills, your reflection, and your reflecting upon yourself. And of course, it cuts across everything that has to do with your personal development and how you are perceived, and in turn will now begin to reflect on how others treat you as well. Now, in having emotional intelligence, I don't want you to believe that it's all about you and nothing else, because a total packaged person comes with empathy. Empathy is the next thing we're going to be talking about. To be an emotionally intelligent person, you must have empathy. Empathy for others, empathy for how people are treated, empathy for how you treat people, empathy for how people treat you. Because the truth about it is that a lot of people allow themselves to be walked over. No. To be walked over does not make you acceptable to people. Whether they are going to like you or not is not by them walking all over you. It's about the respect that you give yourself, the way you empathize with people around you, the way you receive news. You don't go all crazy because maybe you hear something you're not supposed to go hear, and then you begin to cry and then begin to whine. You know, some people are given assignments, and just because they're given assignments, they're, maybe they are tired and everything. Then now it now begins to show on the job, or it begins to, you begin to see all these things. Now, that is not professional. What you want to do is, if you are given an assignment to do, you do it as professional as possible, and hoping that whoever, maybe your boss or your dad or your mom or your elder sister or your brother sees, and then they can say, oh, this person is a bit tired. Maybe they need to go rest. And then obviously, but at that time, you have done your best. At that time, it is now left for your employer or maybe someone that, or your teacher, to now see that this person has been pushed to their limits. And once they notice that they have been pushed to your limit, it is now left for them to empathize with you and say, it's enough. Now, for you also, I want you to empathize with yourself. What I'm saying in essence is that do not do what you cannot do. It's good to push yourself to the very limit, but once you see that maybe you feel a bit under the weather and you can't take it anymore. A lot of people have pushed themselves to different illnesses just because they didn't know when to stop. So you must know when to stop. You must empathize with yourself. You must love yourself enough to say, I am a human being. I deserve some rest. I deserve to love myself. I deserve to be the best that I can be. I deserve to be all that I'm created to be. Not who you assume yourself to be, but all that you are created to be. Because believe me, we're all in this world to live amongst ourselves and make sure that we put in our own best in making the world a happier and a better place. So you've heard it all. That's all I can say for today on emotional intelligence. Make sure that you come out being a better, more balanced person. Until next week, I do hope that you have been motivated. Be the best that you can be. Draw it out from within you, even when you're tired. Keep going and give it your best. Join us on all our social media handles. We are on Facebook at Expose TV, on YouTube at Expose TV, and on Instagram at expose_TV. Until next week, my name is Lola Oduba. Keep on watching the Expose TV network and see you again.